Hi. Today we're going to do from this group 209, page 209. There are 4 exercises, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to do number 1. Okay, so we erase number 1. And the number 1, let me show you in the book. This is pages 209. Actually, these are not exercises. These are just examples that the book is giving you here. But we want to go through the whole book, so we have made these into exercises. This is the text, and they give you the answer, but we're going to explain to you how they get to the answer. That's the whole point of this video, okay? So, what they're saying is that the problem is cerebral thrombosis, right, with transient hemiplegia that has been cleared by discharge, right? So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to identify which is the main condition, right? When you look at the phrase, the whole phrase, cerebral thrombosis with transient hemiplegia that has been cleared by discharge, the with means that there's an additional condition. So after with, this is like an addition part. So the main condition should be here, cerebral thrombosis, right? Cerebral, the AL means that it is an adjective. It means that it's in the brain, and thrombosis is the main condition, okay? So thrombosis is the main condition. And if you know a little bit your medical terminology, thrombo means like a clot, like an embolus, like something that is the vein. Let me give you a quick explanation. The vein or the artery is like this, right? And a thrombus is, and the blood is flowing this way, right? There's the blood flowing. And then the thrombus is like, let me put in another different color. The thrombus is like something that is here, and it affects the flow of the blood. You see this thrombus? And then if it grows bigger, or it can go like this, growing bigger and bigger, something that affects the flow of the blood. That's thrombosis, right? And cerebral means that it's in the cerebrum, right? So the main condition is thrombosis, and cerebral is like a keyword associated with thrombosis. So for keyword, we identify this with a square like this, right? So thrombosis is the main term, and then we go to cerebral. Okay, now, if you watch the theory, previous theory here, in hemiplegia, hemiparesis, okay, we studied that after a CVA or cerebrovascular accident, there's usually, or sometimes, not usually, sometimes there's hemiplegia, right? And we studied that in the video. Now, the CVA, but we don't have CVA, it doesn't say CVA here, but what is CVA? CVA is a stroke, cerebrovascular accident. Cerebral vascular accident is a stroke, right? And there are 4 types of CVA. There's a TIA, or transient ischemic attack. There is cerebral thrombosis, cerebral embolism, and cerebral hemorrhage, right? These are the 4 types of CVA, right? And if you look at the second type here, this is cerebral thrombosis, which is what we have. So this is a CVA. A CVA, and we study in the theory that acute CVAs are sometimes followed by hemiplegia. So it's CVA plus hemiplegia. Transient, as we remember, it is something that occurs and then goes away. And since this has been cleared by discharge, transient hemiplegia, it means that this hemiplegia occurred and then went away. And the dominant side is this little table that we're going to have to use when we find which one is the dominant side. So, after all these explanations, Stephanie is going to find the code. In first place, we know that there are 2 codes, right? There's one for the CVA, right, and another for the hemiplegia, right? So we're going to have 4 paths, 2 for the cerebral thrombosis one, and for the hemiplegia another one, and the other 2 additionals are just to check with the tabular. Okay, so I'm going to take the machine, and Stephanie's going to do the actual coding. Ready?
Hang on.
Okay.
Okay.
We start with
Thrombosis.
right? Because we have identified that thrombosis is our main condition. So let's go to thrombosis.
Okay.
Where's
Thrombosis is over here.
Let me see. Thrombosis, right there. There you go. Right?
Right. First we go all the way down, and then we go to a next column.
We keep following, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
And
then we go to cerebral.
we're looking for cerebral, right?
Right.
And it's right there. What does it say?
It says C occlusion, artery, cerebral.
Okay. So they indicated to us another path, right? Occlusion, artery, and cerebral. So go there.
Here's occlusion here.
Occlusion, okay.
And
then
here's artery.
Artery, and then?
And here we go to the next page.
Okay.
And here is cerebral.
Cerebral, and what do we get?
We get I-66.9.
All right. Now we have to check this one, right?
Right.
In the tabular. We start with I-66.
I-66. Here we go. I-66.
Okay.
Occlusion and stenosis of cerebral arteries, now resulting in cerebral infarction.
Right. And now, which one of those are we going to choose?
We're going to choose way below the end, I-66.9.
Why 9?
Because it is known as unspecified.
And unspecified means that they're not telling us which artery it is, right?
Right.
Because if they told us, for instance, the left middle cerebral artery would be the O2, right? The O1 would be right middle cerebral artery, right? Point to the O1, 6601, right? It says right middle cerebral artery. If they told us more information, which artery was the occlusion or the thrombosis, then we would use all those. But since they don't tell us, we have to use the I-66.1.
Our answer is I-66.9.
I-66.9 because they're not telling us which cerebral artery it is, right?
Right.
All right. So that's our first code, right?
Right.
So can we write it down at the bottom here? We have to remind them that we need 2 codes. So the first code we have checked, that is
I-66.9.
Okay, we have our first code, I-66.9. Now there's a hemiplegia there, right? So we need an extra code for hemiplegia. So let's find it.
So we go to hemiplegia in our index.
Go to hemiplegia in our index.
Here we go.
There's hemiplegia, okay. What's the code?
The code is G81.9/.
Now, it's saying transient. Can you find transient?
Nope. We go all the way down.
Okay.
Then go to the next one, and that's it. The only T that we have is thrombosis.
Right, so we don't have transient. Okay, so, but we have hemiplegia. Let's see in the tabular if there's anything that indicates that it's a transient, okay?
Right.
So, let's go to a tabular to what?
We go to G81.
G81. G81, right? Hemiplegia and hemiparesis. And what does the note say? Can you read the note?
This category is to be used only when hemiplegia, complete or incomplete, is reported without further specification, or is stated to be old or long-standing but of unspecified cause. The category is also used in multiple coding to identify these types of hemiplegia resulting from any cause.
Okay, that's the key for using this code, because it says the category is also for using multiple coding. 2 is multiple coding. We have 2 codes to identify these types of hemiplegia resulting from any cause, and the CVA is a cause, right? So G81, and then which one from those are we going to choose?
G81.9, hemiplegia unspecified.
Unspecified. And can we go any further, or we stop there?
We could go further.
Okay.
G81.91, hemiplegia unspecified affecting right dominant side.
Now, this is the dominant part that we have to review. It says right dominant side. Why? If we go to the problem, it doesn't tell us whether the patient is left-handed, right-handed, or ambidextrous. So that is, it's unspecified, right?
Right, it's unspecified.
It's unspecified. So when we go to a table where it's unspecified, can you point with that, because I'm holding the camera?
Sure.
Where's there's unspecified, right? And now it says the right side, right?
Right.
So which will be which row? The right side. So the dominant, not dominant is what?
This is dominant.
This is dominant, right? So that table tells us that we have to use the right dominant. And if we go there, can you point where are we using that?
Here we go.
There we are. Right dominant. It says right there. Right dominant. That's where we have the code G81.91. Right? So can you write the next code here? We got the first one, and the next one would be?
Next one is G81.91.
That's it. This should be our answer, our 2 codes. And we check with the book, right? And that's exactly the answer. I66.9 plus G81.91, right? Okay, now we're going to finish this video with an invitation to our website right here. And Stephanie is going to type it for you. Today is, what's today? June?
It's June 30th.
June 30th. So we're going to see the website, how it looks on June 30th. If you're watching this video at a later time, it's going to be a little different. But we're just going to show you how it looks, okay? So Stephanie's going to type the website here, jjcoding.com, right? And when he enters, this is a website. And we have put one bit of news here. It's updated to the July 4, you see? July 4, 2015. And the bit of a news that we have put is that let the final countdown begin, 90 days to ICD-10. Okay, you can click that and read the information. Okay? Thank you.